a problem here. And it's more than just Alvin streaming Punisher. When life begins to suck, who's reporting it? Luckily, you got two friends who you won't forget. Coming live, Alvin and friend on survival. Laughing non-stop, case drops on a cycle. Louder than intrusive thoughts off an iPhone. How they make the world seem bright with the lights off? AFs, it might as well stay up. Lies being told like that dinosaur BS. Magnifying glass to the ground if they don't see us. Having the time, roasting your favorite pizza. Bougie ain't an option, it's the wage. Take it to the grave, add moving to the place. You already know when they take the case. Laugh the pain away, it's affirmative murder.
Hello, and welcome to the final frontier, the last vestige of 2024. We're coming to you on the cusp of a new year, and the world is in shambles. Elon Musk is the new president. AI is taking over everything. There's spaceships in the sky. It is utter chaos as far as we know, and nobody knows who Robbie Williams is. Fran, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. I'm just ready for the, this is the time of year when I'm very anxious.
Yes.
Because again, we've talked about this. We've been doing this for multiple years now. And this is the time of year where I'm like,
Brostradamus.
We're closing this book of 2024, opening the new book of 2025. But we don't know what these chapters and these pages is going to be filled up with. We just don't know.
You're chaos, man.
We just don't know. We about to go in and shit we had 2024. Let's do a recap.
Please.
We had the collapse of the bridge.
In Baltimore, yes.
In Baltimore,
Crazy.
yes. When was that? That was what, June-ish?
May? Around
May-ish?
there? Yeah.
Around there?
Still a lot of year left after that.
Yeah, we had. What else we have after that? We
assassination attempt of Donald Trump. The assassination.
Yes. Assassination of the current new president. Well, not current, but the new president. What else do we have?
President-elect as of right now, president-elect.
Yes. We had a United Healthcare CEO assassinated.
Middle of the street.
Middle of the street. We haven't seen spaceships. Now, this is like within a span of like 3 months.
Yeah.
It's been a hot
fourth quarter. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's like, this is insane. It's insane. We don't know. And also I can't remember all the little celebrity deaths that's in there. I can't remember those.
But R.I.P. to them. And all those things.
I can't come up top of my head with those
The
names,
resurgence of Orlando Brown. He's become viral again in 2024, all over everybody's For You page. Insane.
Sure.
No,
but,
you still not a fan of Orlando Brown situation?
I am. What do you mean I'm not a fan? Yeah.
Well,
I think what he's doing is this is all.
It's a ploy.
Yes.
It's an act. He's doing an act.
It's
a bit.
It's a bit.
That's fair.
Everybody's falling for it.
That's fair.
And he's making his money.
Yeah, 2024 has been wild. I'm looking forward to 2025. Like I said, not to get political again, but it is very hilarious what is currently happening within the Republican Party on the tail end of the year. There's infighting. The girls are fighting. The girls are tussling. I think people are turning on Elon Musk, justifiably. He's a nerd and a herb, but he currently holds the keys to the country. So it is will be fascinating to see how 2025 plays out.
I didn't know that's how it worked, though. I didn't know when you become a team captain, you can just kind of becoming the president is becoming a team captain. You can kind of go out and pick your best friends to to take over these important positions. Yeah, I'm gonna hire my boy. I didn't know that was a thing.
It is
again. Now. I'm not a huge fan of. I was a huge fan of Elon Musk. He makes a great car. I don't know what else. I want a Tesla to this day. I still want one. And, people can say what they want, but he makes a great car. I don't know what else to. But other than that, not really a huge fan.
You heard it here first, folks. Billionaire apologist Francel Evans endorses Elon Musk as president for
the
say that for the foreseeable future. I don't know.
That. I said he makes a great vehicle. It makes a great electric vehicle. I didn't say any of that. That did not come out of my mouth.
Well, let's get into these emails, Fran, shall we? Because this is a mini-sode, yes?
Sure.
All right. So, yes, we're being joined by our third Mike, Oliver. Our first email says, "Hey, Alvin and Fran, it's L." Well, let me read the header. The header says, TFTH, these are my confessions. Great song. Hey, Alvin and Fran, it's L. As seen in the subject, I want to confess the fuckery I've been on at my job as a city bus driver. I've been told I have
bus driver.
The city bus driver. Shout out to the city bus drivers out there. I've been told I have an innocent and quiet vibe, so I get tried a lot, unfortunately. I also have years of repressed anger, and I've been unleashing it lately. Mind you, I don't start it. She just finishes it.
Okay.
A lady called me a bitch for checking her after she was yelling at a passenger. I responded to her insult by calling her a toothless bitch because she had no front teeth. She then wanted to fight. I told her I'm not about to lose my job to a broke bitch. Well, okay, that's very hurtful, especially around the holiday times. People start thinking about Christmas presents they can't get and stuff. You could really hurt. You could trigger somebody. Yeah, for sure. I recently grabbed a man by his shirt and accidentally ripped it off, trying to pull him off the bus.
Wow.
I'm aware of how out of line I'm being, but it's a good thing. I'm not going to say what your name is because it's in here. I don't want you to lose your job, but you're at work.
I don't know if you're allowed to do.
You can't go ripping people's shirts and stuff while they're at work. While you're at work, that's crazy. So we're going to continue to just call you L and not say what city you live in. Because I don't want the bus workers union, BWU, I don't know what they are, but I don't want them to come after you. I'm aware of how out of line I'm being, but I'm drained and fed the fuck up. In the last 8 weeks, I've had a man expose himself to me, a man threaten me with a gun, and another man masturbate on my bus.
Wow.
The company keeps giving me certificates for being calm and professional, which I guess they don't check your footage.
I was about to say
because it doesn't sound like you're being exposed. You're like, get the fuck off my bus, little meat. But exposing yourself in public is crazy. But they keep giving her little certificates of like, hey, we thank you for being calm in the situation, being the bigger person. I'm a month away from my vacation/sick/personal day, which I will exhaust right before I quit. Okay. Hopefully I make it before getting fired. I don't know if this was TFTH worthy, but it was cathartic for me. Thanks, fellas.
Good.
Hell. Yeah, good. Listen, if you got something off your chest, I think that's fantastic. Here's what I will say. People like who are in the incoming administration want you to work your life away. They want you to work 60 hours a week. They don't want you to have fun. They don't want you to have and be independent and have a spirit. And they will call you lazy for these things. It is not crazy for you to want to live a nice life and have a stress-free job and deserve to be respected at your job. And if it can't happen at the bus driver and company that you work for, then you quit your fucking job.
Yeah.
My
question was, why can't you quit now?
Well, she gets her vacation day. I guess it's a paid day off, and then she'll quit after that.
And then she quit. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But I
get
think,
one last free check.
Sure, but if it's too much,
if she flips her top and she gets fired, then you're holding out. You're rolling the dice.
One day though.
Yeah, that's what it said. Maybe she meant days, but one day of money is like, I'm just quit. Fuck this.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if I'm really
for you to be trying to restrain yourself from people jerking off and stuff on your bus for the next couple weeks or whatever. No,
I do have some questions about. I always had some thoughts about being a bus driver as far as like, how does it? I want to know how it works. I want to know are you assigned a route? Like, how does
That's a great question. Because sometimes I see bus drivers start their day and they start their day from the bus stop, which I'm like, how does that work?
They still do that? I haven't seen that. Maybe because I don't ride the bus. But I haven't.
I have a car.
I remember seeing that when I was younger, where I was like, they pick up the next bus driver and they swap.
Yeah.
And then the person gets off.
Do you live around here? Or how does this work?
I don't know if it still works like that. Maybe it's changed now.
Questions. So maybe
more buses.
Maybe a follow-up question, a follow-up email from L would be nice. That's my only question. I don't really have a ton of questions. Oh, did they let you carry weapons?
I don't think so.
Maybe mace or something. No,
probably mace.
Well, that guy who knocked that woman out, he had weapons. They were his hands. You remember that guy?
What one?
You going to jail now?
Oh yeah.
That guy was an ex-boxer. He might have been Golden Glove.
Yeah, like uppercut. Never seen nobody do an uppercut as the first punch.
I thought she was dead, and not to make light of a man hitting a woman, but it was a technique I just had never seen. It was impressive.
Uppercut as the first punch is wild. It kind of reminded me of that guy. Reminds me of the guy who throws his head off when the black and white brawl
at the boat.
Yeah, the boat brawl. He was like, it reminds me. Those
once
two remind me
again,
of each other.
Folks, it's on. He shot the starter pistol. Yeah. But no. Shout out to all the bus drivers out there. Shout out to all the union workers. Fran, do you have any thoughts on the possible attack on your industry?
What do you mean?
Well, they're talking about possibly, as you said, they've been talking about for years, this privatizing the post office.
I mean, privatizing the post office. I mean, it's a thing.
Would you go Amazon?
Post office.
Would you shift over
to
something?
No way. Unless they the pay would have to be something crazy.
Oh, never mind. I thought
the pay would have to be crazy, and I don't know how. I don't think they're in a union benefit. It would have to be like
they're fighting right now. They're currently right now in the middle of fighting the unionize.
It would have to be something crazy, and for me to do that, it would have to be okay. You guys, they have to offer like USPS postal workers can come over and keep
a rollover
seniority, some type of thing. There was no way I would do that.
Built up credit of years worked.
I'll figure something out. It's no
Can't
way.
Just start from scratch.
Nah.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell no. But yeah, man, they've been talking about that for a while now. I don't know how true it is. Post office is always in debt. Always.
Well, this is the that's why, you know, I know because you've told me this before, but it just seems like this is the this is the bag administration. This is the bag administration. Everybody in this is like, let's get to the fucking money. Like, everybody in the industry, like everybody's hiring is like, oh, I'm trying to roll back these regulations. I'm trying to bust unions up. I'm trying to privatize this. They're not hiding anymore. People are out to get the coin. Yeah. And so I'm like, if there was a time where Jeff Bezos wanted to privatize mail, or, you know, so he could try to take over mail, it'd be right now. Yeah. Like, this is the administration to do it, because they're like, no, let's get to this fucking money. Let's get the stocks up.
I really don't fully understand what privatizing the post office means. I kind of still don't understand what it means.
Well, you would know better than me, right? So in my mind, I go, okay, well, if the post office has contracts for mail delivery and something that Amazon isn't allowed to do, like bills or things like that. Once you privatize it, if Amazon can then take over that part of that too, and then they would have access to more people's private information, because that's the name of the game now. It's like your data. Yeah. And there's a lot of data that's on paper that isn't on the internet still with like older people.
Yeah, but also I think that if that was to be a thing, if Amazon tried, I feel like that, you know how, for an example, and people say, some people may not know this because like you may not play video games. Mm-hmm. So NBA, was it 2K? I don't know what 2K Sports, and you have Madden. Mm-hmm. Madden, I think what they did was not trademark, but they like bought licenses of all NFL. So 2K can't make an NFL game because they don't have any license. I feel like for the post office, there has to be something where it was like, okay, well, we have this. Right. But for you guys to take over mail, we got something. They got the most important part that you need to kind of take over that. Yeah, and I think post office has something in their back pocket where it's like, all right, well, you need. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the system, whatever. Mm-hmm. You got to figure out what this is. It's kind of like the recipe of Krabby Patties. Like, you got to figure out what this is. Yeah, for you to kind of take over or take out money or take out business. So I think it may not be as easy as what they're saying in the news outlets and shit like that, but I think, you know, they'll try. But I don't think
it's not. You don't think it's as simple as like cut a check. Jeff Bezos was like, I'm gonna buy the USPS.
No, they got. I mean, like the post office has been around for decades. I mean, like you have to figure out the system, and like it's more than just like we're just gonna take over the mail and just start delivering mail. I gotta be more complicated. It gotta be, man. It just can't be that simple, man. I feel like then everybody would try to take over. Yeah, man. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Whatever. Yeah. In the meantime, let's get back to these emails. This next email is from a woman named Monique. She says we can use her name. Okay. And it says, Alvin and Fran, feel free to use my name. It's Monique. I feel like I'm writing to two of the most awesome guys I've ever had the pleasure of knowing, even though I've never met you. Just love you two. As a mama bear type, I'm so proud of you two for what you do. My heart just broke a bit for both of you when you shared your feelings on the post-election episode. What? You are being harassed in any way? Not okay. I wish I could hug you both and tell you take all that time you need, anytime you need it. And just please don't stop podcasting. Thank you very much, Monique.
Thank you. Also,
that was like a warm hug. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. And we didn't take a break. So I just want to... It makes me mad. I'm glad. I thank you for the kind words, but it kind of pisses me off now. We kind of think about it and talking about it again. It's like, we didn't take a damn break.
I never took a break.
I had to go to work. I still had to clock in and go to work. But thank you, though. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. And then she goes on to say, Alvin, your baby is absolutely adorbs.
Look at him.
Look at this punum right here.
He's like, where am I?
Yeah, he's very... I'm going to go put him back in the swing soon, but you can hang out for this email, okay, bud? Okay. Okay, now for my TFTH. I actually have a couple, but I will just tell you the first one, as all my kids remember this one so well. My kids were raised in 3 different small mountain towns: Steamboat Springs, Colorado, Corvallis, Montana, on a goat farm, and Ashland, Oregon, home of the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. You know, Fran, that one.
Don't know, but these places sound like they have great mountain bridge houses, something like that, with great views.
Yeah,
sounds
sure.
Beautiful. Sounds like beautiful
scenic.
places.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, picturesque. This TFTH happened in Ashland, and the victim, David Grubbs, was a friend of 2 of my kids from high school.
Okay.
It was a shocking event that shook the whole community, as Ashland is super safe to, as Ashland is super safe to where I never worried about my kids walking all over town, home from school or wherever, including late nights at home, walking home from parties. One day, my youngest, Mo, called me and said, "Mom, do you remember an incident in Ashland when someone named David Grubb was decapitated on the bike path?" I answered, "Yep, you were actually on that bike path just before it happened."
Wow.
You had just walked home from school. It totally freaked me out because I was pretty sure you'd crossed that spot fairly close to the time of the murder. Oh, is it a murder decapitation? Their answer was, "So weird. I had convinced myself I'd made up the whole thing and it was in my imagination. And then I was listening to MFM and they covered it and I was like, wait, that really happened. I thought it was just some nightmare I had." Anywho, here's the scoop. In our fairy town of Ashland, I'm not kidding, there is a fairy pond that all the kids grow up swimming in, and the fairies are definitely hanging out there. I don't know if she means that in like a derogatory sense. I'm guessing she means like actual like mythical fairies. Murders do not happen.
They just hanging out. No, fairies over there. They just hanging out there.
Well, you can't call them fairies in 2024. They, however they present themselves and whatever their lifestyle is, that's their choice, and they're beautiful and they're great.
Wait a second. What? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
You can't call them fairies anymore.
So David Grubbs is a sweet.
Why are we just gloss? What are we talking about here?
What do you mean? What is she talking about?
What do you mean we can't call them
Well,
fairies?
first I thought she said fairies, and like I thought she meant nymphs, and then she's saying they're hanging out there. So I thought she was, calling people, LGBTQ people, fairies or something like that.
Oh, I thought she was talking about like,
I'm not saying that. I thought she was saying that.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they call themselves fairies I don't think anybody calls them fairies. So anyway, David Grubbs was a sweet, talented, beloved guy and friend of my oldest son, Taylor, from high school. He was in the chamber choir with Taylor and also did poetry slams with my middle school.
Poetry slams?
Up is down, down is up. So he did poetry slams with my middle son. Don't get me wrong, because I could do slam poetry all day. White man, where art thou? I take what you will allow. Take my chains and break them now. I'm not on the stern, I'm on the bow. Look up, it's a cloud of freedom. Where's God when you need him? I could do that all day. I love slam poetry. But he did slam poetry with my middle son, Jesse. At the time of the murder, he worked at a local grocery store where everyone shops, called Shopping Cart with a K. He was heading home from work on the bike path when he was attacked and nearly decapitated.
Wow.
Scarily, my middle son, Jesse, who was 19 at the time and a big walking person, he now hikes up to 30 miles in the mountains at a time, Jesus Christ, was in the exact spot of the bike path not 10 minutes earlier. And even maybe scarier was the fact that my youngest, Mo, who was age 12 at the time, had crossed the spot at some unknown time on their meandering way home from school. Our townhome was about 10 minutes away from the spot of David's murder in Hunter Park, where my kids had to pass to get home. Damn, that's crazy. There's a murder on your walking path from school?
Yeah.
It never happened. I never had that happen. The authorities never caught the killer. Ooh. The weapon was never identified, and they speculated that it was some sort of old sword. Oh my God. Or a machete. Yeah, or a machete or a hatchet. And may have been related to an online game of some kind that somehow urged the killer to take an online game into reality. The best guess is the killer. Yeah, that's insane. And to say that so casually, that's the theory. The best guess is that the killer was not local. Ashland is right off the I-5 and attracts many visitors and tourists, while the population is only about 20,000. At the height of tourism in the summer, Ashland blows up to about 100,000 people. David was murdered, however, in November, which is one of the only 3 months that the Shakespeare Festival is not playing. So it was off season, and there's no tourists. The local cops called in outside resources, including the FBI, to help solve the case, and to this day, it remains unsolved. What do you guys think? Was this local or an outsider? Maybe it's just because I love Ashland so much that I believe it was a drifter, like saying it couldn't have been somebody from their beautiful town. I just don't think anyone from Ashland could do this horrible deed. Alvin and Fran, you two are the best. I look forward to your episodes over every other one, and I also learned so much from your banter. Also, I am totally supportive of you two taking time you need to be. Taking time you need to be with your family. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm dumb. Taking time you need to A, be with your family, or B, take care of yourself, or C, whatever else you need to do to be healthy, happy, healthy, happy beings during this time.
Thank you so much.
Shit's real. Love and hugs to you both, Monique.
I think this person, it could be some outsider, but I don't think it is. I think that's why you haven't caught him. I think that's why you haven't caught this person. He's in the community. He chilling. He, she, whoever.
Oh, you think it was somebody local?
I think somebody local. Then that's why they haven't caught this person.
Because they're thriving off of. No way, somebody that lives here would do this. Yeah.
Well, I can I'll just chill.
Yeah.
Hang out. Yeah, man. I think this person play a video game and having the urge to go out to the streets and want to commit a crime and do shit from a video game.
That's a crazy theory.
It's nuts. Like, I have a sword. Why don't I just go out? That's the urge you just can't fight with. Somebody was just like, man, I got to try this thing. I need to see what this thing can do.
Yeah.
Go out and chop somebody's head off.
It looked too good on The Witcher. I gotta give this a try.
That's crazy. What do you think? You think it was an outsider or what?
I thought it was an outsider at first too, but now that you've explained your theory, I kind of agree. Because like, if they are all like, this is a small intimate town, we all know each other, then it kind of is like you're hiding in plain sight.
Right.
They've already written you off. It must have been somebody who's been here at when they came to the Shakespeare Festival and all these things, and so now they're not even looking inside the house.
Yeah.
The calls coming from inside the house is what me and Fran are saying.
Yeah.
So, Monique, thank you for a great email. We really appreciate that. I'm going to go put him in his swing. Yes, for our audio listeners, yes, my son did briefly join us for the podcast. I just put him back. He was getting a little warm in here. And by in here, I mean the closet in which I record.
This box in which I stay in.
We're going to do one last email before we get out of here. Once again, folks, affirmativemurder@gmail.com. Get those emails in. TFTH, we'd love to hear from you guys. I can't really speak to all of the plans that we have for 2025, but there are a lot. We also have some secret things that we have in the works, not confirmed yet. So we can't speak to them. But if everything lines up, 2025 should be a very fun year in many a way for the Affirmative Murder podcast.
It should be a fun year, but you never know how things can turn out.
Isn't it right? Isn't that so true? So yeah, before we get out of here, again, affirmativemurder@gmail.com, TFTH. I'd love to hear from you guys. Whatever you got, bring it on, like the movie. Kirsten Dunst, Elijah Dushku, Gabrielle Union.
That is the only. How do you? Whatever, man. I don't even.
You don't know Kirsten Dunst?
I'm just shocked on how you can remember. That movie came out in what, like 06? 02, something like that?
I think it came out in like 99.
It did it? And you can remember just like who was in it?
It's an iconic movie. It's an iconic movie. You know Gabrielle Union's in it, right?
I know she's in it. That's the only person I can name in that movie. But I don't know if to say it's iconic though. Is it an iconic movie?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
There's some stuff I talk to you and I'm like, all right, I agree. That's not up for debate.
That's not an iconic
Bring
movie.
It On is no, it's not. I would go as far as to say this is more debatable, that it's an American classic. I won't argue anybody down on if they disagree with that, but I believe not only is it, what did I say, a classic?
It's iconic.
Iconic. It's no question that it's iconic. The uniforms, everything. But I say it's an American I would say it's a modern a modern American classic because it touches on like popularity in school, cheerleaders versus this, and then destroying those narratives about their personalities. It subverts the cheerleading thing while also kind of parodying it.
Sure.
Well, so does what?
I can't think of the movie name now. It doesn't even matter.
And that's why I don't even know why I'm having an argument with you about what is a classic movie.
It's not iconic, though. It's not iconic.
What is an iconic movie?
An iconic movie. If I can remember that, I will tell you, but I can't. I don't even know who's in the movie.
I mean, just any movie. Do you know of any movies that are iconic?
No, I got to figure it out now.
Right. But you're sure that Bring It On is not?
I don't know if it's iconic, man. It's not iconic.
Stop. It's not. It's like they do like a Larry Bird, Magic Johnson thing.
American Pie is iconic. That's an iconic.
American
kind of touches on the same thing.
American Pie is American Pie is like Superbad. American Pie is iconic, yes. Superbad is a modern American classic. I don't know if Superbad is iconic. I don't think Superbad is iconic.
Superbad is iconic.
No. Well, no.
You picking
the McLovin scene. Well, just because Bring It On it was a cultural phenomenon. Like people wanted to, the cheerleading outfits and doing the dances and singing the songs. It was an iconic moment. Like, and still the roots are still felt now. Superbad had a moment. I think it's an American classic, modern American classic. Yes, like
Drumline is iconic.
Oh my God, we can move on.
Drumline is iconic. How is Drumline not an iconic movie?
We can move on, bro. We can move on, bro. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's
Nick
crazy.
Cannon was fantastic in Drumline.
Drumline is the best Nick Cannon movie.
Yeah.
Drumline is a good movie. And I think that because it's a good Nick Cannon movie, that gives it some oomph. Because it's like this was just
okay. Let me ask you a question.
Outside of Nick Cannon, it's good.
Let me ask you a question.
Drumline's not an iconic movie.
Did you watch Bring It On and finish that movie and want to go? Maybe I'm thinking about doing cheerleading.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Did you watch Drumline and you walked out of the movie theater and was like, man, I think I might join. I think I might play the drums.
I might have watched. I didn't. First of all, I didn't see Drumline. I didn't see Drumline in the movie theater.
I did.
I saw it on bootleg, which is the whole point of what I'm saying. It's a hood classic for sure.
No, we're not going to put it. No.
Here's not. I don't want to disrespect it. It's a hood classic, but it's also just a good movie. It's not a hood movie. But like black people love Drumline.
Is Bring It On a hood classic?
No, Drumline.
No.
Wait.
Right.
What'd you say?
No, I'm Bring It On.
No, Bring It On is not a hood classic. No,
it's not. Right.
It's not a hood.
So
anything.
it's just a good movie.
It's an iconic American movie that, like, in to use the word, I guess, what is it? Mainstream America, white America.
Sure, okay.
It's a very popular
keep it real. Sure.
movie. Yeah, but black girls like parts of Bring It On too. It's a fun dancing movie, but it was one of the first like that though. Like the Drumline, I mean the Stomp the Yards and the what's the B2K one and all that stuff. It was kind of the first of that, but it was the suburban version with something that we know is real. It wasn't like street dancing. It was cheerleading.
Yeah.
So yeah, it basically, I mean, what is it? You Got Served? You Got Served they took the whole plot of Bring It On and made it hood, or what they thought was hood.
I just think that if you watch a movie,
yes,
and you finish watching this movie and feel inspired and feel motivated to be like, I want to go and do that thing. You watch like a I don't know, some type of politician movie or something like that, or some old movie about like some slavery who kind of worked their way up a little
revolution.
Yeah, sometimes you walk out and like, damn, I feel good. That's what Drumline.
8 Mile. I wanted to rap after 8 Mile.
Right, you don't do that when you watch Bring It On. What?
But see, now we're what?
Because males cheerlead.
That's what I was going to say. But no, I wasn't going to say. I was going to say I'm not a cheerleader, but I was going to say now we're having an argument about sex and all these things, and it's like I wasn't a dancer, so I don't want to make it seem like I don't want to say Bring It On is like a girl movie because it's not. It's a good movie, but like it skews towards the women audience.
Sure, but you can walk out there and go, oh, you know what? I think I have a daughter. I think I'm sure. Cheerleader.
Or a boy, if you want to be a cheerleader. No, I was not a boy who watched Bring It On and was like, I want to be a cheerleader. But I can recognize. Here's what you're doing. I'm talking to you as this person who's watched many films and kind of know the landscape of movies, and you're talking to me as a person who watched Drumline and liked Drumline. I watch Drumline and I like Drumline. I'm telling you how people.
Lying.
I'm telling you how people feel about Bring It On. I'm not telling you how I feel about Bring It On. You're telling me how you feel about Drumline.
No, who said this?
Who said what?
Who are these people that said Bring It On was iconic?
Society. It's referenced often. People dress up like it for Halloween. Who dresses up like Drumline for Halloween?
I don't know. Maybe we looking
if
in the wrong
you become a
crowds.
costume, I think that puts you in the category of icon. And that's why when you said Superbad, sometimes people will wear like a little name tag on their chest that says McLovin. That is a character or a bit from that movie that has stood the test of time. It's an iconic scene and thing. Drumline is just like a hood classic movie. It's a good movie. It's a fun movie to watch on a Saturday afternoon. It's a good movie. And when I watched Drumline, I did want to drum.
Which one have you seen more recently?
I haven't seen either, honestly. I mean, I don't know the last time I watched either.
Which one have you seen more recently?
I probably would say Drumline, I guess. I've seen from it on TikTok or something. I haven't watched it.
Case closed. Case closed. That was my cherry on top.
I rest my case.
Yeah, I rest my case. Which one have you seen more? Was it Drumline? All right. You haven't seen Bring It On? Is Bring It On TikTok? I don't think so. Have you seen clips of Bring It On TikTok?
No. I don't know if I might not have it.
All right.
It's a good point you make. You got me. You got me. It's not on my FYP anyway.
Affirmative Murder is brought to you by Incogni. Every year, both the number and scope of data breaches worldwide are rising. According to the 2022 Annual Data Breach Report by the Identity Theft Resource Center, the number of victims has gone up nearly 41.5% from 2021. These data thieves are after your personal information, including your name, your aliases, your social security number, login credentials, home address, location history, online activity, and much more. And they're selling it to the highest bidder. And this is where Incogni steps in. Incogni reaches out to the data brokers who are out to purchase your information, and they do it on your behalf. And they request that your personal data be removed. Since many data brokers continue collecting your personal information even after they've removed it, Incogni also does its best to ensure that your data stays off the market by conducting repeated removal requests. This means that whenever a new record pops up on a data broker website, Incogni will automatically take care of that. That's what makes their yearly subscription especially advantageous. Incogni will continue to protect your data privacy for as long as you use the service. It's so easy to look people up these days. We're more accessible than ever, which makes us more vulnerable than ever as well. Incogni's out to protect us. And if you go to incogni.com, incogni.com/affirmativemurder and use the promo code affirmativemurder, you'll get 60% off an annual plan. Your data and your personal information are more valuable than they've ever been. Do what you can to protect it by signing up for Incogni today. Affirmative Murder is brought to you by Hormone Harmony. Are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal change? If you're listening out there, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living rent-free in our environment right now. In our food, our water, the air we breathe, the clothes we wear, our skin. And they all mess with hormones. The good news is that you don't have to suffer through any of it anymore. Because now, there's Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony contains science-backed herbal extracts called adaptogens. Now here's the beauty about adaptogens. They help the body adapt to any stressors, like chaotic hormonal changes that happen naturally throughout a woman's life. PMS symptoms like irritability, moodiness, discomfort, or uncontrollable cravings, menopause symptoms such as hot flashes and night sweats, poor sleep and feeling tired all the time. Yeah, Hormone Harmony can help with all those things. And the biggest benefit? Feeling like yourself again. That's what women mention over and over again in their reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. That's happymammoth.com. Just use the code AMP at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use the code AMP for 15% off today.
We're going to read one last email before we get out of here. And this one
is... we got one more? Okay.
Yeah, we got one more. And this one is from Tay. It says, "Hi, Alvin and friend. It's Tay again. I wrote earlier this year about 2 dead bodies that I found in a trash chute at my old job. Those cases still haunt me every time I pass the building. I heard friends call for hoarder stories and remembered 2 more cases from the high-rise apartment community I used to work for. I wish I had more detail, but this should help scratch the itch." Oh, well, let's do it then. "From what I know, it is unlawful to consider someone a hoarder if you work in property management. This is because they can claim that they are being discriminated against. If the hoarding does not cause disruption to the others or damage the building, you kind of have to let them be.
So you can't just throw that term out.
No, not if you're like if you're a cusp, if you're just dirty, basically. Because they could just be saying you're calling me a hoarder because you think because I'm a little cluttered, but my piss-filled bottles are not eroding the walls or causing other people to have distress and stuff like that. None of that's happening, so you can't call me a hoarder. And if you do, I could sue you. So you got to be careful about how you.
So what term do so
when you work in the industry of
that makes sense. So what do you say? I want to know what terms do you use?
Talk about them behind their back.
No, I mean like in front of them though. Like what do you say? Like
like how do you try to let them know like you need to get your shit together?
Like in a polite way.
That's a good question. Taylor may need a follow up
without calling them a hoarder.
Because they're probably fishing for that. They're like, "Are you saying I'm a hoarder?" Like, no, I'm just saying that you have a lot of piles of clothes and all. Yeah, they got their phone out right now. I'll call my lawyer right now. I'll even say a word that has an H in it. So I don't know how you break that to somebody gently to say, hey, maybe it's a fire hazard. Maybe they'll go to like coding, codes and stuff like that. Yeah. The first story occurred when I was still an employee during the late spring of 2020. There was an older guy in his late 60s who was considered to be a hoarder, but not how you might think. He wasn't dirty. He had a ton of stuff. He collected books, small household appliances like blenders and other items as well. Okay. And they were new and in working order. Sadly, he tripped over one of the boxes and hit his head while he was alone in his apartment.
Wow.
He was found days later by his sister, who would stop by to look out for him sometimes. It took her weeks to clean out his apartment, and I'm assuming she sold what she could. So he hit his head and died.
You know what's crazy? How often that happens? I didn't realize how often that happens until I started following this TikTok page. Mm-hmm. This guy who comes in and cleans up these crime scenes. Well, not crime scenes, but these deaths. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this happens a lot to older elderly folks. I didn't realize how often this happens, where they like lose balance and hit their head on the counter or something like that, and they just like it's like they just lay there. That's
so
nuts.
So often hoarders become victims of their own hoard. And one of the crazy parts is I've heard this on a lot of episodes of Hoarders as well, is depending on what you hoard, like for example, if you hoard a bunch of newspapers, that can deafen the sound, like all that density in your house can deafen the sound of you yelling for help.
Wow.
Because it can't break through all the piles of dense piles of things.
Damn.
So you could be in there screaming for help and people can't hear you because you basically created a soundproof house with junk and trash. Also, while we're on the subject, I'm going to read the rest of her email, but I have to say this. Shout out to Mr. Pissair on TikTok. Okay. I think that what he's doing is breaking the matrix in a way that I've never seen. I think that he's laughing in the face of God. I don't know if he's summoning some kind of dark magic or something. What he's doing, it's like seeing somebody push open a pull door. It's like seeing somebody go up the down escalator. He's defying the laws of like nature and society in a way that I feel is some kind of like experiment, or he's aware of that this is an algorithm. Or
I disagree.
There's something brilliant in what he's doing where it's like it's so crazy that it feels like he knows something we don't know. Fran?
No. You not being serious about your hygiene is extremely disgusting. And making a TikTok page playing with piss is absolutely nuts. Now, what I will say, it is funny.
Well, he's not playing with piss, he's utilizing piss.
No, he's playing with piss. It is funny. It's hilarious. But this has to be a bit.
For anybody who doesn't know Mr. Pissair is, just like look him up.
Look him up, please.
Look up Mr. Pissair.
Like he piss box, it's insane, man. This has to be no way somebody lives like that. But it's like if he is living like this, he must be not living like this. If he has the resource to be in a shitty house with piss bottles everywhere, this dude must be a millionaire. When the cameras are off, he leaves out, all right, hop in his Range Rover, he goes home. Because there's no way. This has to be a set. That house has to be a set. It has to be.
But you and me are on the same page. To me, it's so insane. But here's the thing, because people don't know. If you either know who we're talking about or we don't. But see, his comedic timing is so funny and brilliant that I'm like, this must be some kind of, he's doing like a punk or something. He must be some kind of prank. But then the dude went in and did a hoarder. He lived with him for 24 hours. And it seems pretty fucking real to me. So I'm like, he must live on a different plane of existence. I mean, this guy will wake up and he'll make 50 TikToks. One of the TikToks will be like, what's up, guys? I'm about to make some piss cereal and milk. So what you do is you get a box of cereal, and then you just take your piss here and you pour it into the bowl, and there you go. You have it. Here we go. Piss cereal and milk. It's great for breakfast.
Yeah. Spills it on purpose.
He's using his feet to pour the piss. He's making piss bombs.
Now, one thing I was on the fence with this, with it being real and fake. Because I went, okay, he has all these bottles of piss.
So
everywhere.
much piss. Oh,
and
you think it's fake?
This has to be just like dye and water.
Okay.
But then one of them where he like poured in the bottle and it was bubbly, and I was like, I don't know.
It looks a little too pissy to me.
You can't. I don't know if you can put bubbles in.
You can't fake.
Bubbles?
You can't front the piss, bro.
I said, I don't know. I said, now I want to fence again. Because I realized like, this is fake.
Sometimes you see some shit where you're like, that's definitely iced tea brisk. But when you see a bottle, when you see an old Deer Park bottle that's been finished and then filled with piss, you know when it's real piss. And there's plenty of bottles I saw in that house where I'm like, no, that's piss.
That's
unequivocal, no question. That is a bottle of piss.
But hey, he could go, I'm going to put a couple bottles of piss, real piss, in with all these fake, whereas like it play mind games where you go like, damn, that's all piss.
He's a continuity guy. He's got like 6 bottles of piss and then 30 bottles of tea.
He might be a genius.
That's all I'm saying, Fran. It's subversive, bro. It's something about it where I'm like, this is brilliant, avant-garde. I know what you want to just say is crazy, but like
and
this
gross.
and gross. When he's like, hey guys, I'm about to make his name, his moniker, Mr. Piss Air, came from him making a TikTok where he took piss in a jug and put it behind the fan as to blow the fan air would then be piss air. And it's a tutorial. So back to today's email about hoarders. I just had to talk about the most like the king hoarder I've ever seen. I had to talk about him for a second. I'm sorry. Mr. Piss Air is a hoarding legend, an icon, if you will.
Before you get back to that is crazy that you brought up that if somebody who's hoarding newspaper, that's wild to me.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
So you fell over, you broke your leg over some shit you have in your house, and you're screaming, but people can't hear you because it's all muffled. So this lady, so she's saying somebody in her building that she manages fell over, banged his head, he tripped on some hoarder stuff.
Yeah.
And then he wasn't found for days until his sister that comes and checks on him came in and found him dead on the floor.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot with elderly hoarding people. So the following hoarder story is a little more sinister. I'm not 100% sure that this next guy was a hoarder or not, because his death occurred years before I started working there. I know for a fact that he was a slob, as described by my coworkers. He also fell when he was alone in his apartment one evening, but landed on his coffee table. He wasn't discovered until decomp fluids began to leak through the ceiling, and a foul stench was detected by neighboring units. I'm really sorry. Yo, man. Oh my God. Yeah, he started to liquefy. I'm really sorry for the maintenance guy who discovered this gruesome sight. I don't wish death on anyone, but this guy needed to go. God damn. Jesus Christ. Wow. Oh, wow. That was really cold. He was found with stacks of CSAM in the form of photos. What is that? If that's child sexual abuse material. Okay, there, he had to go. No question, no further details needed, boy. He was found with CSAM in the form of photos throughout his apartment. I have no idea how you get such disgusting images developed, but he found a way. He hoarded the images for his enjoyment. I hope this makes for an interesting bit on the pod. Thanks for all the entertainment and happy holidays. Tay. Thank you, Tay. Yeah, I mean, he had to go. He liquefied, and I don't feel sorry for him. That's disgusting. Because that's what you choose to hoard? Wow. Fran, thoughts? Any final thoughts on hoarding?
I don't know. I still can't. If it was one thing I was like, I need to go study something, it would be that.
Hoarding?
Hoarding. I need to figure out I know that's all. Would you do a cleanup? The brain and stuff like that. Would I do a cleanup of hoarding? Sure.
Yeah. Would you do a cleanup?
It can't
tag
be like
along.
It can't be like 90-degree weather. Can't be like hot.
Yeah, that'd be a fall cleanup.
Yeah.
If I can do some research, if I can find a person, because the guy that does the show Hoarders he has a multi-million-dollar empire off of creating like a company that cleans hoards. So there's companies out there that do that. And I'm going to go ahead and put that out there on the airwaves. Anybody out there who could, knows a person, 6 degrees of separation. If we're allowed to tag along on a horde someday, if we can film it, me and Fran would come to wherever we need to come to, and we would definitely tag along on that, on a horde for sure. That would be
tag along. I mean, we come film, talk.
No, we suit up, man. No, don't do that. We suit up, put the mask on, we go in.
I'll do that. I'll do that. But I want to leave. I want to be able to leave when I feel like leaving.
We don't. No, we're not doing a work day. Like we'll go if it's 30 minutes and we're like, fuck this. We leave when we want to leave. We'll just undress and leave. We don't have to stay the whole day.
Yeah.
Don't depend on us for. And also, I'm not going to actually work.
Yeah. I don't. You don't have to pay me. I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. No, we'll pay. I'm saying I'll set it up. I'll pay the person who brings us out if we have to. But don't pay me because I'm not going to actually work.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll pick at some shit. I'll poke some stuff.
I don't want to leave and be like, now I'm halting your business because you lost 2 people.
No. Like we show up and we're the crew. Yeah. No. Have a crew and then we're allowed to tag along with the crew. Yes. Yeah. Because I don't want you to be down 2 men if we're out after 20 minutes.
Pissed at us? No. I don't want you to be mad.
No.
I want to leave when I feel like leaving.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we got it, man. This is hard, and because I feel like
I would love to do that. Yes.
Because you got to have some skin in the game, bro. I've been talking about hoarding for a long time, and I've been in some nasty houses, but I've never been in like an official. This is a hoarder's house.
Never been in any nasty houses.
And if I'm gonna talk about it this much and have these many thoughts, I feel like you gotta it's like those people that talk about bugs and poisonous ants and stuff on social media, and then they're like, "Oh, I get bit by them for a living." I let one of them, if I talk about their venom, I'm gonna get bit by one.
Yeah.
This is our version of that. So affirmativemurder@gmail.com. If anybody out there knows any hoarding experts, cleanup experts, and they can put us in contact with them, or maybe not put us in contact because I don't want to beg. I just want to just get an email that says, "Hey, come here at 3:00. We'd love to have you." I don't want to have to negotiate with somebody because I don't care that much. But if I'm putting it out there, we'd love to tag along, and if somebody could set that up for us and we just go to it, when we get an email saying, "Hey, we'd love to have you," I'd do a little bit more conversating from there, but I'm not going to go around begging people to. I'm not doing that. So if somebody out there wants to do the legwork, or if you're listening to this and you are a hoarding cleanup person and you love the show and you want to have us come along, hit us up, affirmativemurder@gmail.com. You have any hoarding stories or any other family stories, domestic stories, anything like that, but amongst your family members, crazy holiday stories. We're starting to phase out of, we're going into 2025, so it's not really the holiday season anymore, other than New Year. Maybe you have an embarrassing kiss attempt New Year story or something like that you could get into us. We'd love to read something like that. Other than that, there's not really any holidays. I guess Valentine's Day. But now we're just going into regular life. So the holiday season is starting to phase out. Let's just get regular life crazy stories. Affirmativemurder@gmail.com.
And some advice. I'm still here for some advice.
And some advice would be, we'd love to give some great advice, particularly Fran. Fran, what was the lesson you could take away from this episode?
The lesson. I would go with the bus drive. Maybe. See, the thing about this one is, I don't want to say try to be more professional because it's like you were about to quit. Yeah. So I totally understand when you was like, somebody coming at you, fuck you. I totally get all that. But the lesson I would say would be, if you are at a job and you can't take it anymore, and if you already have something lined up, quit.
Yeah, fuck that job.
Don't do that business. You doing that company a favor. Are you staying around? No, quit.
Fuck that job.
Fuck that job.
I'm also not a fan of 2 weeks notice. We've been so indoctrinated and brainwashed into doing what's best for the job because you might need these people again someday. Whereas the other side of that, like management and corporations and companies, have become so cold that the idea that you're going to get a good reference. Now, if you work for like a guy,
is that still a thing though?
But that's where that comes from though. Like the 2 weeks, the 2 weeks notice is because you don't want to leave on bad terms, and then if you need them again. But if you work for Amazon or FedEx or something like that, this cold corporation does not give a fuck about you. It's not likely that you're going to need them for some kind of reference. You just would go get another job at some cold corporation. Right. Now, if you work for a guy that is a family member or, a contractor, like a small business, I understand. Give them 2 weeks because if they've been good to you, you be good to them. But if you work for some corporation or some like big business type shit that like is every day is cold and you clock in and punch in and punch out, who the fuck cares about their schedule and making sure that the shit go? Who cares? If I'm ready to quit today, I'm going to quit today.
Right.
Me giving you 2 weeks notice as in some idea that like, well, you got to leave on good terms, that's indoctrination. That's brainwashing by corporate America because they want to make sure they get their ducks in a row. Guess what? Do they I don't know if people get 2 weeks of notice when they get fired.
They don't.
If they decide the day you're fired, you're fired. They don't give you like, wait, man, we're gonna fire you in 2 weeks. Cool. When it's time for you to go, it's time for you to go. So
Time for you
2
to
weeks
get up outta
notice,
here.
fuck that.
Because that's cutting budget. They're like, oh, we're not going to hold you for 2 weeks to
Give
pay
him another
you.
paycheck? Yeah, I'm not giving another 40 hours of money. No, get him out of here today.
Now,
Get him out of here before this pay period ends. So he has no rollover into the next pay period. Want to make sure our books are nice and clean.
That's true.
So yeah, I agree with you, Fran. Fuck that, man. If you don't, quit that job today if you don't like it. Don't deal with disrespect. You don't have to tolerate these things, man.
No.
Walk out, man. Strike. It's not the best administration to be striking under. They don't support you. They're this most anti-union administration maybe we've seen ever. It's a bunch of people that make billions of dollars exploiting labor. So,
but I'm gonna say it makes sense though.
It's the best. In that way, it's kind of the best time to go on strike and unionize because, like, fuck them. Like, this is the time for revolution, man. If you want fair wages and all those things, they don't come from handout and asking. You got to affect people's pockets. Walk out of your job and let them know we're not doing this until we have a real, reasonable expectation of a workday. And that's how that's the energy of 2025.
Yeah.
But this has been another mini-sode, man. 2025, big things coming. Excited. Looking forward to delivering some content, man, and hopefully this. I don't want to say anything that could go wrong.
Whenever I say anything, everything goes wrong. So I'm gonna take you guys' advice. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything.
All right, we see you guys next week.